with the Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions.
We got to talk about
Mandatory minicamp is done. Khalil Dorsey, we talked yesterday. He had been carted off the field Wednesday with a lower leg injury. Whenever you hear carted off the field, that is scary. I was hoping not torn ACL, MCL, PCL, not anything long-term. Fortunately, Dan Campbell in his press conference yesterday confirmed that they're not worried. They got good news on his x-rays, on all the medical things. He should be good to go for the season. But when that happened, I started thinking, because he was a primary kick returner last year. When he was healthy last year, he was the one returning kicks and a huge part of kick coverage and punt coverage. And he caught the Jalen Reeves-Maben fourth down fake punt against the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. But it got me thinking, it got me wanting to revisit the kick return rules. And, hey, should Khalil Dorsey have been down, or even if he is healthy, what do you guys want to do at kick return? KG, you're looking right at me, so I'm going to come to you first. All right. And I know Kool-Aid's got a comment on it, too. With the new rules, if you're Dan Campbell, what are you doing on kick return? Who are you putting back there?
This is tough because we have a plethora of options there. I know a lot of people want to see J-Mo, and I'm not necessarily mad at that. I'm not. But if we want J-Mo to be our number 2 wide receiver, I want to preserve the chance to keep his health intact as best we can. So I would much rather see either Seone Vaki, Khalif Raymond, or what was the third name?
We got Maurice Alexander, we got Gibbs,
Gibbs would be crazy
DPJ.
DPJ too, only because he has kick return experience. But either one of those 3 guys, I'm okay with. Who I would absolutely choose, probably Seone Vaki. Okay. Because I'm just interested in the type of player he is. He's already a special teams demon. I want to see him get his hands on the ball, utilize some of that speed and shiftiness. So Seone Vaki would be my pick, but I'm not mad at anybody they put back there. But let's preserve J-Mo a little bit. That's just me, though.
Okay, chat. Put in the chat who you would put back there. I see one like Herb Nash, Khalif, or Antoine Green. I didn't even think about that. Maybe Isaiah Williams, if he makes a 53-man roster, which I kind of hope he does. He's got return capabilities. Kool-Aid, you were talking about an up-and-coming superstar when we were just briefly preparing for this segment.
You know what, man? I really want to see J-Mo in this position. And there's a reason why. If this is underneath the old kickoff rules, I would be very, very hesitant to put somebody like that back there, especially with the risk of injury. And you want him to get every rep he can as a wide receiver. Underneath the old rules. Underneath the new rules, though, it's supposed to protect them a little bit better and honestly put them in a position to be able to see the returns, make a return to the game for lack of a reference, of a better reference. And there's one thing here. I want to see J-Mo get as many reps as possible. We talk about in other sports how the free throw sometimes can help an offensive player kind of get his rhythm going. I want to see him get his rhythm going in that way. See him making cuts earlier in the games. See him catching the ball from a certain vantage point coming out of the sky, especially when we're talking about the type of receiver we think he could be when you're talking about getting downfield. And so from those perspectives, it is very intriguing to me to think about J-Mo. And we already know his speed and space. If he offers you your best opportunity to take advantage of these new kickoff rules, I think you have to go with that when you look at the expectations that they have for themselves this year.
Facts. JB, who you putting back there, Dan?
Look, I like the idea of having J-Mo back there, but I kind of want to preserve J-Mo for all those offensive plays. So give me Vaki, Seone Vaki back there, because you know what you have in him right now, given from what he's done in college. But DPJ wouldn't be a bad idea either. Antoine Green, I don't know what you're going to get out of him. So I think my best bet is to put Vaki back there and then just let him run wild.
Let him run wild. I'm putting J-Mo back there 100%.
Okay.
We talk about, or I'll just speak for myself. I want J-Mo on offense. I want them to get the ball in his hands. As any way you can, through the air or a reverse, short yard passes, a screen passes, anywhere close to the line of scrimmage. Get the ball in his hands and let him use his speed and athleticism and what makes him special. Let him do that. So we have an opportunity now where the idea is that injuries are going to be lessened, are going to be decreased with the new kickoff rules. So there should be a little bit less concern with that. I do understand that is probably the number one concern. But if you put him back there with these new kickoff rules, if they kick it into the end zone, and I don't remember the exact rules, but putting him there, they either have to kick it to him, where then you get him in space to make one cut and he could be gone, or if you don't kick it to him, you kick it out of bounds or in the end zone, you get the ball at the 40.
Yeah.
This offense, we're talking only needing 25, 30 yards before you're in Michael Badgley field goal range. Yeah. Like, that's such an advantage, whether they kick it to Jamo or they try to avoid kicking it to Jamo.
That's what I was going to say.
Like,
Jake
so
Bates
why
field
not?
goal range.
What was that?
So you're getting close to Jake Bates field goal range.
True. The dude can kick it, but
my thing.
He's been struggling lately.
If Jamo offers you the opportunity to, as soon as he catches it, get you even close to the 50 off of these kicks, it's like, don't you have to go with that? I'm not saying these other guys aren't capable, but I do know what I know about Jamo.
Yeah.
We know his cut ability. We know his ability with the speed and space. And if this is supposed to preserve them, these new rule changes, I'm intrigued by it.
Yeah. And honestly, I would consider Gibbs, but I'm not worried about Gibbs' touches during the game. They're going to get him the ball, whether it's rushing or receiving. But Jamo, we're talking about, can we get him 5, 6 touches a game? How about 3 more in the kick return? How about it?
Yeah.
How about it? But what about Khalif Raymond? And we're going to talk more at the end of this segment, get into the next segment about Khalif Raymond as a wide receiver. But he's the type of dude, and Dan Campbell confirmed, we're going to play this clip about Dan Campbell talking about Khalif Raymond and about him being a Swiss Army knife. He's a guy that Dan Campbell, and later on next segment, we're going to talk Jared Goff is going to double down on this, but Dan Campbell trusts Khalif Raymond in whatever spot they put him on, and he's got speed. Listen to what Dan Campbell says about Khalif being a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, Leaf is our, he's another one of our Swiss Army knives. He does it all for us. His versatility to play all the positions. He can play the X, the F, the Z, and he's our returner. He's got real return ability and speed. All right, so he mentally knows those 3 positions of offense, and he's got speed. So he's a guy that's always going to have a place in our offense. It's a matter of how much do you use him. And where do you use him at? But he's going to be a critical piece for us offensively, but also obviously as a returner too. Because the new kickoff too now, it may be right in his wheelhouse as well.
He was a punt returner, but he was hinting at maybe some kick return duties for Khalif.
You know what? Has Khalif Raymond been one of the kind of least thought of, least talked about, probably most disrespected and underestimated players for the Detroit Lions this year?
Yeah.
I mean, by everybody across the board.
I wouldn't necessarily go disrespect, but I just think he doesn't get the love that he deserves. Like, no one's talking bad about Khalif, but they're not talking about him enough.
Yeah.
And he's as important to this offense, not as important as anybody, but he is a very important piece to this offense.
Wide receiver.
One we missed in the playoffs last year. We missed in that San Francisco game, not just in special teams, but on offense. He was more of a deep threat, a deep route threat than Jamo last year. Like, when he was in the game, that's where Jared Goff, he's looking at those 15, 20-yard outs or a seam post to Khalif, not to Jamo. Like, Khalif is a guy, and we'll hear Jared Goff talk about him later. He's trusted. Like, Jared Goff, there is no concern about their rhythm, their trust, their chemistry, and that's on offense. Now, he's been returning punts. He's a reliable guy in punt return, but now they're thinking about maybe Khalif at kick return.
Makes all the sense in the world.
Wild. But was it you who brought up Vaki, or did you both bring up Vaki?
We both.
You like Vaki, Justin?
Yeah, that's who I want to see back there. I love Jamo, but due to my opinion on him breaking out this year, I don't want to see him risk injury by getting. I know there's the new rule on tackling from behind, but it's just I don't want to see him like pop a hip or pop up something in his leg and screw up his career further down the line. I'd rather just be safe and go Vaki, go Khalif Raymond, someone who isn't going to be as integral to the team.
All right. Well, David Montgomery, he's got some special players in his running back room, but David Montgomery also has some thoughts about Sione Vaki now entering this room. Learned a little bit about his personality that we haven't seen yet, but David Montgomery had some big comments to say about him. Check this out.
Oh, yeah, he's special, too. Yeah, he's special. Vaki, he goofy, though. That's the part that y'all don't see. He's pretty quiet, but he's a funny guy. But he's super, super skillful. He can do a lot of the similar things between me and Josh, so it's good to kind of, have him doing some of the things that he does, but us as a cumulative of a whole room, like, it's special.
Special.
I love it, man.
He's goofy.
These guys, as close as some of these NFL players are, like, they're not always ones to just come out and crown a rookie special or say these things, especially a tough guy like David Montgomery, and they're close in the locker room, but you don't hear a lot of vets on the Lions or even around the league just give that praise to a rookie so soon, especially this Lions team that lets the rookies, they got to earn their Sam Laporta. We didn't hear much great out of him until like the end of training camp where people are like, yeah, okay, he's legit. We've been holding back.
No, and the key thing that he said is that he does some of the things that me and Jai do on the field. I think that's a big key. If he can have some of the impact that they have as a third running back in this offense, oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, stop it, man. Stop it, man.
You know what? No, I was going to say, and with it being David Montgomery doing this is now his second year in a row, and obviously we know that the expectations between Gibbs and Vaki are going to be different, especially with where they're drafted. But last year, he let us know, no, Jahmyr Gibbs is special. To hear him say this again about Vaki, about the new running back entering the room, somebody that a lot of us believe maybe will make a difference, will maybe be one of those picks, one of those kind of hidden gems. It's exciting to hear David Montgomery kind of giving him this vote of confidence.
Absolutely. And I love Vaki's work ethic, man. Everything that we've heard about Vaki to this point has been about his work ethic. As soon as he got drafted, Tim Twentyman, shout out to him, man. He put out reports saying, I can instantly see why Dan Campbell chose this guy. Like, he is absolutely a threat on special teams, but also in this running back room and just how hard he works, man. So I'm really looking forward to what he can do this year. I'm telling y'all, he might make the most impact out of everybody in this draft class this year.
He very
That's a big endorsement.
Might. Yeah. When you think about Ben Johnson and they are creative. They're innovative. Like if they got talented, athletic players, they're gonna find a way to use them. Maybe we don't see it in week 1, but they're gonna figure it out by week 10. Where we might see more Vaki than everybody around the NFL expects.